Hello and welcome to the Salmon FM with me, Mitchell, and this is Rebuilding Roma. So what I've done, I'm trying to close out FM21 now until we get the brand new game and the beta, and I figured let's jump on the bandwagon and start doing some rebuilds like other people, and let's thoroughly enjoy it. You know, a good friend of mine, Boodia FM, he keeps saying I should just do rebuilds, I should focus on doing some rebuilds instead of lower league clubs. And you know what? He's probably got a point. Well, he has got a point. So let's give it a whirl. So I've taken on AS Roma. I've not downloaded the up-to-date squads. I am running this as if FM21 was just released. So this is last year. Well, obviously just with the mid-season winter update. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to rebuild them. I'm going to jump on business that other clubs maybe should have done and didn't. And I'm just going to try and build the best Roma I can. Last two seasons, well obviously the 2 seasons before, Roma finished well outside the Champions League, 5th and 6th. Not well, but it's still outside the Champions League. And before then they were knocking on the door. Their last league title, 2001. They've come close a fair few times. My idea, my plan, is I'm going to try in 3 seasons and win them that title. Now, that's not going to be easy, and it's going to be a lot of work. And this is just having a little look at their overall. They've only won 3 Serie A titles overall. They've got 9 Coppa Italia, so we're going to try and make that 10. And again, the last win in that was 2008. Their Europa League win was 1961. Super Coppa Italian is 2007. It's not a good look for a club like Roma. So, 3 seasons. I'm going to have some fun. They're all going to appear in this one episode, so it's going to be a bit of a longer episode. Season 1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump so I'll jump to the start of the season, jump to the end of the transfer window, jump to mid-season, jump to the end of that January, and then jump to the end of the season to see how we've been getting on. And then we'll jump into the 2nd season and so on and to the 3rd. So I hope you guys are going to be along for the ride. Let me know in the comments what you think, how I've done. And yeah, let's get going. So just before the season starts, not really done much in terms of transfers. What I've done here is I've brought in Francisco Trincao as the first and probably the only signing at the moment. Season is just about to start. The rest of the deals have been done beforehand. I've got a lot of players out on loan, so come season 2 I'm going to have all these guys come back in, providing that they don't end up leaving on a permanent basis. So it'll be like having a host of new signings, especially the likes of Clivert, Florenzi and Under. Definitely like an influx of new signings. As for the tactic, what I'm going to be using, I'm going to be visiting my main man RDF, brilliant tactician. I am going to be using his Roma tactic, funny enough, the 3-4-2-1. I stumbled across this tactic when I was playing a bit of a personal save, and I absolutely loved it playing it with Forest, so I figured no better tactic to use than using it on a Roma actual team. So how he sets up, if you want to have a little nose at that, it's a 3-4-2-1. If I remember to, I'll link the video. If not, go check it out, RDF Roma, and you'll see the work that it does, and he even leaves you the link to download the tactic for free. So make sure you hit that up as well. So as for the schedule, we haven't got the best of starts. I'd struggle saying that we're going to walk away with 6 points from those 2, but then we've got a nice little run of games against teams that we should be beating until we get to Napoli. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump up now to the January, and we'll be seeing how we're getting on. So yeah, I will see you guys in just a second. So here we are. I have jumped to the end of January, and where you find us is in a Coppa Italia semi-final first leg against Inter Milan. Now, how are we getting on in the league? You can see there, we are joint top, but Inter have played a few less games. Well, yeah, a couple of less games than us. And Juventus are only a game less than us. So, it is all to play for. And if you eagle-eyed buggers out there have spotted something, I've made a couple more transfers. And it's impressive. At the start of January, I picked up Memphis Depay. Now, as we know, in real life, he has moved to Barcelona for nothing. He moved there free of charge. However, in the game, he was still at Lyon. He was up for the transfer, and I spent more money on him. Absolute bargain buy. He's played 5 games. Scored 5 games in the league. He scored 5 goals in the league, 1 assist. He's played 2 games in the Coppa Italia, scored 2 goals and got an assist. The kid is unreal in Italy, so I'm absolutely buzzing I've managed to get him across the line. But I wasn't done just there. I managed to pick up this Spanish youngster. I say youngster. A couple of years ago, he was an absolute wonder kid on this game. Played for Barcelona. Moved over to Benfica because he wasn't getting in the Barcelona team, and yeah, what can I say? I think I signed him for 23 million overall, and he has been absolutely phenomenal for me. I signed him just before the transfer window ended, so he has been here for quite some time now. So he has played a lot more games than Memphis Depay has. He's played 15 in the league, 5 in the Europa League. So yeah, absolutely buzzing. How have we been getting on in the Europa League though? Wow, we topped the group. 1 loss, 1 draw, 4 wins. Sadly, loss came against Zoya. A 1-0 loss, which wasn't very impressive, but we still managed to get through, and we come up against Bayer Leverkusen in the next round. So hopefully, come the end of the season, we would have gone on a bit of a run in the Europa League. That's what I'm hoping for. That's the deals I did, and how we're getting on in the leagues. As for outbounds, as you can see here, we sold a couple. So we sold Diawara for 5.5 million. We moved Carlos Perez on for 6.5, 6.25, and we moved on Jesus for 2.5. I freed up some wages with Federico Fazio moving on. So yeah, a bit of wheeling and dealing, and I've got these guys in on the first season. So yeah, a couple of decent youngsters coming through. Whether we're going to be around long enough for them to come through, I doubt. Anyway, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to jump to the end of the season now. This will be end of season 1. Hopefully it'll be successful. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how we get on as well. Well, I'm going to start with the league, and as you can see, we finished second. We were 8 points off Juventus in the end, who continued their dominance in the league. Obviously, in real life, Inter Milan were the ones that broke that dominance. But yeah, Juventus have continued their dominance in game here, and I've got to say, I'm kind of annoyed that we couldn't get closer to them. We were challenging though. Second is still decent. We did only set the target this year of finishing in the Champions League spot, so I can't complain too much. We got what we wanted. We achieved the target that I set. But how did we get on in the cups? Now, I'm gonna start with the Coppa Italia, and we lost it to Juventus 2-1. Highly annoying, as they scored so late in the game as well. A couple more players were just completely useless in the final. Kumbulla, Pellegrini, Zaniolo and Dzeko, they were god awful in the final overall. I didn't make any subs. I just didn't see Bingy. Memphis wasn't fully fit for the game anyway, so yeah, it wasn't to be in the end, sadly. But we move on, and we'll see how we got on in Europe. And in Europe, we won. We beat AC Milan in the final 4-1. So we even beat Italian rivals, and we didn't just beat them, we absolutely thrashed them overall. Scoreline probably flattered the game a little bit. They weren't that far behind us. Possession was equal. Our passing was a little bit better. They broke up the play a little bit more with fouls. But yeah, who cares? Season 1, and we have silverware. So Jose can win the Europa League in real life. I can win it on Football Manager. So absolutely buzzing to get that one across the line. And this is how we did it. So we opened up the game. 3rd minute, Pedro getting his head to the ball. Second came again. Here we go. Veretout now smashing it home. I can't say all these names. Veretout then from the spot. And then Al Sharari gave away possession as Milan looked to get themselves back into the game. And we just killed any hope that they had with a brilliant run by Spinazzola and a great goal. So that was done, dusted, and silverware locked away in the cabinet. Season 2 is here, and we open it with the UEFA Super Cup. We're playing against Champions League winners Barcelona, so real life Memphis Depay is going up against his actual team in real life. So yeah, we had a nice little tour of America for our pre-season, facing up against Barcelona now before starting the season against Crotone. We do have another friendly against Juventus. While we're playing Juventus, I don't know, I left it to the assistant to set up my fixtures. And yeah, so we have our first chance of a bit of silverware. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to have a little nose at the transfers and in and out. So outbound, we have anyone noticeable. So we've got Robin Olsen that's left us. Steven Enzonzi's left us. Paul Lopez, our goalkeeper, has left us. I've moved Pedro on. Lorenzo Pellegrini has moved on as well. He wanted to leave as soon as PSG's interest came about. And Mertzetten has moved on permanently as well. However, bringing in, I have signed Ibanez, Gravenberch, Fabio Vieira and Michel Di Grigno. Don't know how this is pronounced now. I've still got a bit of time, so I'm still going to do some more wheeling and dealing. We'll have a look at them in January when we jump forward, see what I've done. But this kid, I am excited to get this kid across the line. Played for Porto. I signed him for £22.5 million. I'm excited to see how he gets on. Is he? No, he's not even classed as a wonder kid or anything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on for us. And yeah, I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit and we'll see how I've been getting on. So I have jumped forward just a little bit to the end of the transfer windows to see if I've managed to do any other bit of business. And purely I just wanted to bring you that, my current top goal scorer is my centre-back Chris Smalling. Didn't ever think I was ever going to say that, Chris Smalling being my top goal scorer. So yeah, we are only 2 games in, and no, sadly it wasn't a hat-trick, it was just a couple of braces. No hat-trick for him. However, did we do any more transfer business? You bet we did. So I've also brought in now Alexander Nubel from Bayern Munich. Obviously he is the second-hand goalkeeper there. He's in real life, he's set to take over from Manuel Neuer whenever he does decide to hang up his boots. But I've managed to bring him in here for 18 million. Money well spent for me. You might have noticed I'm wearing a Gremio top. I went fishing at Gremio and I found this little beauty, Matthias Henrique, if that's how you pronounce his name. And yeah, I signed him for 18 million. And yeah, I wasn't done there. I then signed Daniel Rugani from Juventus to add depth to the centre-half position. And then I kind of made a rash decision to sign Gianluigi Donnarumma. Now, Real life, he has moved to Paris Saint-Germain and he moved on a free transfer. In game, he'd signed a new contract before that transfer happened. Well, before anyone could get a pre-contract signed with him. And he gave it a couple of months after his contract was signed and he was unhappy, so he handed in a transfer request. It's going to go up to 60 million and we paid 50 million up front straight off the bat. Probably not the business that Roma would do in real life, but I think it's business that you could do. So I have actually signed 3 goalkeepers in this window. Not what I'd planned, but I'm expecting him to win us some points, and I'm expecting Nubel to be an absolutely beast of a backup goalkeeper. Though I don't think he quite expected to be a backup goalkeeper when he came to the club, so we'll see. We will see. So again, like season 1, I'm going to jump forward now and we are going to have a look at how we've been getting on. I'm going to jump to the end of January again, so whenever the January transfer window's ended, and we'll see how we're getting on. We are just, and I mean just, top of the table. We are a point above AC Milan. Juventus have got a game in hand on us. If they win that game in hand, they would be level. They have that game in hand against Napoli, so realistically could do with Napoli giving us or doing us a favour. But we move on, and I think I've cracked it, and I think the lads are doing really well. Let's have a little look at the transfers that we are doing, and I haven't signed anyone else, as you can see, so it was a very quiet January for me. However, I did move a few people out. We lost Justin Kluivert. He moved out to Tottenham Hotspur for 24.5 million. Brian Cristante then moved on to Leicester for a total of 14 million when it comes to it. Under left for £12 million, and Gonzalo Villar also left for £14 million. So I think overall that is the type of business that Roma would do, spending less money than what you would actually bring in if you were signing players. So I think I've got that transfer business nailed down to a T. Generate some money from players that were on loan the season before and probably not in the long-term plans. I mean, the only one I really considered was Justin Kluivert, because he can play up top and he was going to provide cover for the pay next season, because I'm not going to be re-signing Xhaka at the end of the season. He's already said that he's going to look at retiring. So that was the only one I ifed and butted over, and I just thought 24.5 million is probably too much money to turn down. So overall, I think it's great business, and yeah, doing really well. So here we are. So I'm going to start with the UEFA Super Cup. As you can see, we won it. So we beat Barcelona 3-1. As we watch the goals here, Grimaldo whips it in, back post, Spinazzola as a right back gets the goal. Next one, Fabio Vieira with a whipping. Mkhitaryan absolutely drills it. Barcelona get one back. Messi, it's Messi. Before we ended up finishing the game, Grimaldo here breaking down the wing and absolutely thumping it home against the club he joined as a youth. Nice 3-1 win. Depay absolutely ineffective though, and so was Ziniola really overall. As for the other competitions, how are we getting on? Supercoppa Italiana, we lost 3-2 to Juventus. Annoying. Coppa Italia, we were knocked out in the first round by Hellas Verona. Absolute dog awful. And the Champions League, we made it through to the first knockout round, where we will play against Galatasaray. Let's have a little look at our group, and you can see that we did top it. I felt it was quite a hard group considering, you know, Leipzig and Porto. It's definitely one of those groups that could have gone either way overall, but we managed to get through. That was the main thing. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of January in the second season. Where could we finish the season, and what could we do to round off the season? Right, so I've simulated ahead again, and here we are, brand new day as well. I do like this shirt. Anyway, so here we are at the end of season 2, and as you can see, we've finished second again. This time though, just 1 point in it. It's so frustrating to see that when you lose just by the 1 point. It wasn't meant to be. We drew more games, they won more games, so on the balance of it, you can't really complain. I think this rebuild's going really well. At least we're dominating, we're asserting ourselves as a top 2 team, and this season especially we've moved away from 3rd and 4th quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to what season 3 is going to hold for us. But before we do that, let's have a look at how we got on in the competitions. I'm going to start with the Champions League, and sadly it was a 4-3 aggregate defeat to Liverpool, so no European glory this season, which is a shame, but at least we got to the semi-final. It shows that we are hopefully progressing in Europe as well as we are domestically. So yeah, not a great day at the office for quite a few of the players, but it is what it is, and we move on. As for the Coppa Italia, obviously I think I've already mentioned it. We lost against Hellas Verona, but we did lose on penalties, which is a shame. However, we did win the Super Cup, obviously, at the start of the season against Barcelona, so we haven't walked away this season empty-handed. Next season, we've got to try and win another main bit of silverware. I'm aiming for the league, naturally. Next season, the task is going to be win the league, break Juventus' dominance, win it. So I'm going to end season 2 here, and I'm going to see you just a second for season 3. One of the things I didn't do in the previous seasons, which I wish I had done now, is go and look at where we're predicted. Now, we are now predicted to finish 3rd, despite the fact that we've been the 2nd best team in Italy for the last 2 seasons. We're still not quite up there. We start the season today, and I'll have a little look at the fixtures reviews in a second before we jump to the end of the transfer window. Obviously, naturally, the season's starting earlier this year because of the Qatar World Cup. Hopefully that will play into our hands. Hopefully we don't have too many players make it all the way through, and I know it's been a bit selfish, but having a little look at the schedule here, as you can see, we start with probably the hardest game we could have this season, and that is up against Juventus. The Zebrae themselves. But yeah, it's not a nice start. The only good thing is that if we do lose to Juventus and not get the result we need, at least we can bounce back with a game against Benevento, which should in theory be a win. So yeah, let's have a little nose at the finances. I've got £80 million to play with. The club, they're quite impressed with me. They're improving all the youth facilities and the training facilities. They want us to qualify for the Champions League first round knockout, as well as reach the semi-final, and obviously naturally they just want us to qualify for the Champions League. So no pressure from the board to win the league, but the players know that I want to win the league. I've set them the target to win the league. Some of them wasn't happy about that, but we move. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hello, so I'm up here. I figured I'd move it a little bit purely just so you guys can see what's going on below here, and as you can see, I've been on a little bit of wheeling and dealing. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the 2 biggies that I've got rid of: Alex Grimaldo, Stefan Al-Sharari. Al-Sharari, squad player. To get 21 million for him, buzzing, because he came up good for me, he scored goals. However, he was a squad player, he was just useful when I was struggling. The other one, Alex Grimaldo, 37 million, probably could have got more for him, but I've set the target this season, haven't I, of winning the league. I needed players that are going to win, or have got the ability to win a league, and I felt Rafael Guerreiro was a better option at left back, left wing, than what Grimaldo was. So that's why I've signed Guerreiro, sold Grimaldo. I've also brought in Tolisso from Bayern Munich, obviously natural born winner. Kumbula obviously has joined, even though he was already at the club. He's joined permanently. That wasn't my decision, that was already predetermined. I've also signed Diogo Dalot from Man United on loan, just as cover. So I'm expecting a lot of emails from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to say I'm not happy with his game time. That's if Ole is still at the wheel there. And I brought in Carl Zalina. Now I know what you might be thinking, why have you brought him in if you want to win the league? I brought him in basically just to move him on in January. He's going to be potential money in January that if I need a position strengthening, I'll be able to use him as a make weight. So yeah, that's a quick update on how we got on. How did we get on in the opening game of the season? We beat Juventus, so nothing to worry about. We won 5 games on the bounce in the league before back-to-back defeats against Fiorentina and Sassuolo. Not great, but we have a chance to bounce back in the Champions League. Champions League is a little bit hairy for me. We've got Hertha, Sociedad and Olympiacos. Hertha and Real Sociedad, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel that they are always overpowered in this game. So maybe that'll be a bit of a hiccup there. But yeah, we face Bologna or Lecce in the Cup come January. So yeah, that's how we've been doing in the transfer market and the schedule. That puts us nicely in second, 3 points off Napoli, who obviously we beat last time out. Well, our last game we won before the defeats. So had we won those 2 games back to back, no doubt we would be sitting comfortable on top of the league. But it is what it is, and we move on. So what I'm going to do, as always, I'm now going to simulate all the way up until January, and we will see where we're going and how we're getting on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump to the end of January like I have been, and have a look and bring you up to date with the transfers and what we've been doing in terms of a rebuild. So I will see you in just a second. Time for a bit of wheeling and dealing again. So here we are, and as you can see, Kai Havertz has now joined the club. I spent £110 million on him. Roma would probably not do that in real life, but the opportunity that was there to sign him, and I snapped him up. I've also signed Lacazette because I was desperately in need of a striker to help Memphis Depay. So I brought in Lacazette as well. More money than I wanted to, but to get him over the line, that's what was needed. So I have spent big this January. Call it a panic buy if you will, or not. But I needed a player to replace Fabio Vieira, who was subject to a bid from Arsenal, and he was very unhappy when I rejected the first offer. So I sort of promised him that I would let him go if they came in with an improved offer, and they did. So unfortunately we did lose main number 10. I was kind of gutted, I really was, but Fabio Vieira, if you are ever doing a save and you can prize him away from Porto, I beg you to do it. He has been absolutely brilliant for me. Also going out the door, as I predicted, was Carl Zalina. I told you he was just brought in on a free, and I've made £8 million. Also leaving, we have Rick Karsdorp, who's joined Sociedad. He wasn't getting enough game time, and he was unhappy. He couldn't dislodge Florenzi or Spinazzola, so it is what it is on him. It is what it is. So sadly, yeah, lost him as well, but I definitely feel like I strengthened with these 2 guys. As for the league and the cups and the Champions League, you probably can't see it now behind my head, but we have reached the Coppa Italia final. I'll bring him up here. So as you can see there, we beat Juventus 4-2 on aggregate. and we're going to play Inter Milan in the final. It's still hidden beyond my head. UEFA Europa League, we are going to play Akhmat Grozny, because we finished third in the Champions League. I did say that these two are overpowered a little bit, and you know what, he just proved it in the league, in the group stage in the end, which was a shame. But nevertheless, it's been a good season, I think, despite this failure here. As for the league, so far we are currently sat in second still. I think I'll cry if we finish second again. 5 points if we win our game in hand, behind Napoli. As it currently stands, it's 8 points. So yeah, a little bit of work to do. I'm hoping the new boys can fire us to that title. Havertz is definitely an upgrade on Fabio Vieira. Kai's down as an elite attacking midfielder, whereas I can't remember what Fabio was down as. But let's have a little look at the finances of the club. As you can see, it is still stable. It's underneath my head, but we are spending 50 grand less on the wage budget than we are permitted. Wage budget is 3 million quid. And we're spending 2.947, so 53 grand less. And overall balance is good. So yeah, are you guys ready? Can I do it? Last jump. Let's jump to the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions. I know I can't sing, but we did it. A total of 87 points to Napoli's 84, and that's all behind my head. We'll have a look at the little league here, so you can have a little look there. 87 points there, 84. I'm buzzing. I'm really buzzing at that. Behind my head, you might not be able to see it. We got knocked out in the second round of the UEFA Europa League by Bilbao, so that's not happy on that. But the Coppa Italia, a nice 2-1 win in the final. Let's have a little look at those goals. Guerrero opened it up with a free kick, great finish, before Napoli come back and buried it with Politano, and then Veretout from the penalty spot, 93rd minute. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's what we needed, and it's a domestic double. Not many people say they can do a domestic double. So as you can see, the overall balance has taken a little bit of a hit, but they have given me my budget for next season. I'm not going to play another season. The budget for next season is now 65 million. If I wanted to carry it on, I could, and I'd probably, hopefully, dominate Italy for a couple of years, especially if I made the right tweaks. But overall, I think this has been a resounding success. It's not obviously updated on here, but the next season we'll have us up there with a new trophy. Still hasn't got it there, but obviously it will come next season. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing at that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you like this sort of thing, if you want me to carry on doing this sort of thing, and I will look at doing more. Don't forget, you've got Scratch Card Mondays every Monday on the channel now, and hopefully Tommy Turner will be making his way to the channel very soon. A couple of tweaks still left to work out on the Tommy Turner end, but yeah, I'm looking forward to all that. Guys, thank you very, very much, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye.